Learn Programming Skills welcomes you to the YouTube platform, and in today's video we are going to look at a branch component or a branch feature of the command prompt history. And the command prompt history is an interface that consists of our executed commands or typed commands in the command prompt interface, and we are going to look at its branch that is known as the command prompt history size. If you want to learn about the command prompt history, I have a video that covers it, and I'm going to link that video in the description below. Check it out after watching this video. So in this case, we are entering into the system of the command prompt history and know how we can expand its size so that it can consist of our executed commands. Now, as I said, we are looking at the command prompt history size. So ask yourself, what is a command prompt history size? This is a size that refers to the number of commands that are stored in the memory of the computer system, and this allows the command prompt software to recall and use the previously executed commands. We all know that the command prompt history consists of our executed commands, and then its size depends on the number of commands that can be contained or consisted by this command prompt history. So this is what we are going to look at, and this is the theoretical explanation of this particular command prompt history. Now, how does this command prompt history size works in the command prompt window? 1. When you type a command, it is added to the command history. That is because the size is there to contain the number of stored or executed commands. The moment you key in or type in a command, it is automatically added to the command history. So in this case, if the size is set to 50, it means that when you get to that limit, any other command that comes in is going to overwrite the previous typed command. So you have to set up a buffer size that is going to consist, depending on how you work within command prompt window, that is going to consist of the number of commands that will be executed, which you will need them in the future to recall and use them for a particular operation. Now, the history size determines how many commands are stored. So as I said earlier, if the buffer size is set to 50, 100 or 70, it means that that is the size that will be determined by the command prompt based on the individual commands, and therefore it says that the history size determines how many commands are stored. So if you have 50, it means that you're going to have 50 commands stored in the buffer size. Now, a user can also navigate through the history using the up and down keys to recall all those typed or executed commands. So this is how the command prompt history size works in the command prompt software. What are some of the benefits of command prompt history? Now, this helps to quickly recall and reuse frequently used commands, and also it helps to avoid retyping long commands or retyping complex commands in the command prompt interface. So now that we have this theoretical understanding about the command prompt history size, how can we expand, or how can we identify the default size and also expand this particular size to suit our preference? And then in this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways you can increase the command prompt history size on your computer system. So the first method we are going to use to increase the buffer size or the command prompt history size on our computer system is to use the command prompt interface. So I'm going to use the Ctrl+S to open the command prompt interface. Now, when you get the interface of the command prompt, you right click on the title bar, and then in these options we are going to select settings. Now, when you click on settings, you have this settings interface provided to you. Let's walk through the navigation pane, and under profiles we have command prompt. We click, and when you click on command prompt, scroll down in this particular interface and you are going to see advanced under the additional settings. Click on this arrow, or you click on that option, scroll down, and you're going to see this option that says history size, and then this value is set to 9001. So based on this particular usage of command prompt, this is the size that has been set for the command prompt history size. You can use these arrow keys by changing the values based on your preference if you want to do so, and when you are done, you just click on save from this option, and then this means that we have set this particular command prompt size. So all commands that are going to be typed in this command prompt interface, this command prompt history is going to contain the number of 9011 commands. So as you are typing and this gets to the limit of these commands, then any new command that you type is going to overwrite any previous command in the history. So this is how to set up your command prompt history size in the command prompt window, and that is, we use the command prompt application to do this particular effect. Another way to do this is to use the command prompt interface, and this time around we are going to type a command line to do so. So we are going to type this simple command, which is the doskey command. So after typing the doskey command, you press the space bar, type your / symbol, then you type list size, and after typing the list size, you bring your equal to sign, then you type the number of the history size that you want. So maybe I want to have it as 9100, then you press the enter key on the keyboard, and this particular command has changed this buffer size or this command prompt history size. So presently I have it as 9100, but when we were using the first method, we changed it to 9011. So this is the second method of changing this particular command prompt history size using the doskey command. Now the last method, we are going to use the registry editor application to change our buffer size of our command prompt window. We are going to use the Windows key and the letter R on the keyboard. When you type this shortcut, which is the Windows key and the letter R, we have this run command, and I'm going to type the registry editor in this particular field. So after typing this, you press the enter key on the keyboard, you allow by clicking on yes, and then you have this window that says registry editor. Let's locate the H key current user. So I'm going to expand this. So you click on this, then this is going to expand this particular effect to you, and then under this particular main folder or this parental folder, we move to console because we are talking about command prompt, and I'm going to click on this arrow to expand this console. When you select the console under the H key current user, you are going to have this interface in the registry editor. We are going to click on this white area so that this will be activated. Then I'm going to search for history buffer size. If the history buffer size is not available, then you have to create your own history buffer size by right clicking, choosing new, and then you go to dword 32 bits, and then that is where you are going to create your own history buffer size. But I believe that I have this option in this particular list, so I'm going to type H on the keyboard, and this is going to select the history buffer size or commands that start with the letter H. I'm going to select this, and now this is the history buffer size. I'm going to right click and choose modify, and when I choose modify, I'm going to have this edit dword value, and then in this case we have value data. I'm going to ignore the hexadecimal and choose decimal, and presently I have 50 in this field. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to change the value to any value. It can be 900, it can be 9000, then you click on OK. Now our history buffer size has been set in this particular interface. If this option, which is the history buffer size, is not located or it has been accidentally deleted from this option, then when you right click, you move to new and choose dword 32 bit, and you're going to give a name to this, and then you type your own value. When I try to type the history buffer size in this field, this is the name I want to have for it. When I press enter key, it says that the registry editor cannot rename new value. The specified value name already exists. Type another name and try again. So it means that I can't have the history buffer size unless I change the name and then use another value. But this is not what we want. We have to give a predefined or specified name to the D value so that the operating system can acknowledge it and perform its action. So therefore I can right click on this and choose delete and close this window. So these are the three ways of changing the history buffer size of your command prompt. using the command line, using the settings interface of the command prompt, and also using the registry editor of your computer system. Hope this video was helpful. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and see you in the next video.